Creed is a 2015 film directed by Ryan Coogler, co-written by Coogler and Aaron Covington. It stars Michael B. Jordan, Sylvester Stallone and Tessa Thompson. This is the film that's evaded me for a very long time. I watched all three of them pass me by without going to the cinema to watch any of them. There's two main reasons as to why. I wanted to at least watch the first Rocky, and Ryan Coogler's films just never drew me in. I'll be honest, I only saw the Black Panther ones, but point still stands. However, I come to you now in this video to rectify that huge mistake and discuss the brilliance of Creed and how it's quickly becoming my new obsession. In this video, I'm going to discuss the entire plot for Creed with the character motivations, conversations on the writing, editing, acting, everything like that. So there are going to be some spoilers here, obviously. The whole point to this video is I've now saw Creed and now think it's one of the best films of all time, and here's why. Hello, we are back. The term best film of all time is thrown around a lot, and I don't want to do that here. To clarify, by me saying that Creed is one of the best films of all time, I don't seriously mean that. I just think it's just one of the best showcases of story structure and character related cinematic writing. The film is, of course, a sequel to what was a dead franchise. Weren't a reboot, not a direct sequel, more of a spin-off than anything. With that, you get a lot of expectations from audiences. I'm pretty sure there was 4 or 5 Rocky films before, some to varying quality, I've heard. The thing is, with me, when I first watched Creed, I didn't have the problem of what came before because I'd never seen it, so I just enjoyed Creed for what it was. I think it's probably the best way to see the film, to be quite honest. I've obviously heard amazing things about the film since it came out in 2015, but like I say, director Ryan Coogler's Black Panther films put me off delving into his filmography. Usually I see a film I like and I'll just go into the director's filmography, find it all. Ryan Coogler has been one that's been evading me for this, and it's because his films just, I'll get to them, you know, that's kind of the vibe that I've had so far, but I've really messed up because I went to watch Sinners, his new film, as you saw the video that came out a couple of days ago, and I left it, I did the video and I felt very interested. I said a lot of things in that video that showed my dislike for the film, and I didn't mention much of the good. There's a lot of good in the film, it just didn't work for me, and I wanted to delve into and explain why, and why I didn't like the vision, why I felt that vision was blurry and confusing. That vision of Ryan Coogler. As I was writing the script for this video, I wondered that why now am I going back to Creed? Why now am I delving into it and appreciating it? And to be honest with you, it's FOMO. Everyone I know has seen this, and I'm the film guy, you know, so it kind of my own fault that I've not, but I really should have. So it just never came up, and I don't understand why. So it's time to just pop in my Blu-ray from the duology box set that I've had for about 3 years, and I popped it in and I pressed play, and my life changed forever. Creed is, of course, the story of Adonis Johnson as he fights the legacy of his father Apollo, as well as becoming his own man under that shadow, making a new name for himself as a singular man in his field, but also whilst owning the legacy that you can't escape. Adonis has a lot of stuff going on in this film, let me just say, and that's why it's so strong for me, because not only does he have a lot going on, he also, the structure of the film gives him issues and troubles and good things and bad things at the perfect time to make it perfect for conflict or things like that and build up the climax of this film. And the way that that's done is so gentle in a way with the form. It's very precise, and that's such a rare thing to see. You can teach it, you can read it in a book, but to actually see it in a film is very difficult. In the screenplay, Coogler and Covington implemented an almost perfect structure. We see 3 major fight scenes which highlight the major beats in the film. In the first act, we see a fight. Technically it's the second fight in the film, but what point still stands. The very first fight is an introduction fight to the character. The second fight is he gets in the ring with this guy who someone says you're not ready to fight this guy. He gets in, knocks him out straight away, or knocks him down straight away, which wraps up the introduction to Adonis. We know everything about him now. He's cocky, he's egotistical, but he's a good fighter. Well, he knocks someone out the first thing. He's a good knocker outer. But we've seen his skills, we've seen his cockiness, and we've also seen that he is smart and he knows himself better than anyone. This fight scene comes at the end of the first act, and it wraps up everything we need to know. It solidifies that we know his skills, we know he's not a one-trick wonder, we know who he is, and we know how he would react to almost any scenario. We see in this scene that Adonis is a strong fighter, but he's loud and brash, and his ego is on display for everyone to see. Someone's going to come and knock him down, and everyone's telling him that. During the middle of Act 2, or the midpoint of the entire film, we see Adonis in another fight. This fight has been set up throughout the film. It's what the first half of Act 2 is leading towards. A character called Pete is the trainer to the fighter Adonis is going to be fighting. They're both in the same gym. It's not really like anything crazy. It's just this is Adonis's first official fight. By the midpoint, Adonis is atop of the world. He has just won this fight, a major proving point for him, and nothing can stop him. Which means, obviously, in story structure, that he is up for a big fall. That fall comes pretty quick, and this is why the characters are so amazing for this film, because they service the structure so well. And that's because here, everything set up for the characters now comes to fruition to some point here. Everything could end here. We now find out that Rocky has cancer, and that drives a wedge between him and Adonis, because Adonis wants him to get treatment, get better, or try at least and fight, whereas Rocky doesn't want to do that. He saw it happen to his wife and nothing worked, and so he's just sort of calling it a day. They fall out for a little bit because of that, because they disagree so much. And then we find out that everybody now knows Adonis's dad is Apollo Creed, because it's leaked by Pete, who is the trainer, who obviously is a bit salty because his fighter lost the fight to Adonis, and now Adonis has to deal with that, with people all over the news saying he's going to be nothing like his dad, he's rubbish, he's this and that. On top of that, his girlfriend or love interest Bianca in the film has fallen out with him because he wasn't truthful to her. They make up pretty quick, don't get me wrong, but I'll get to that scene when they make up, and I like it. This part of the film is obviously usually called the Dark Night of the Soul. Oftentimes it's when a mentor or a father figure or a parent, whatever, dies in the film, or a friend. The hero wants to give up, blah 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 blah. You get it. They resolve everything at this point though, and then that's how we get into the third act. In action films, this point is when they've made a big plan and they go and attack the bad guy, but the bad guy, the plan doesn't work. They have to make a new plan for the fly. In Avengers Endgame, it's when they snap everyone back, but then Thanos comes down and attack the ship, for example. Here we have Tony Bellew, who was starred as Ricky Tomlin. It was a champion fighter. It's when he now agrees to fight with Adonis, who actually his management wanted the fight with Adonis because he's a Creed's son, and having that name shot him to up here, and he's always wanted that, but he's never wanted to go by that name, but wanted to make it on his own. As he said earlier in the film, Adonis is losing everything. Yes, he gets a chance to fight, but his girlfriend is gone. He's gonna lose his uncle, as he calls him, and he's gonna, he might not win this fight. This is the champion. This is a big fighter that is coming up against. And now we get to the point where we start to break into the third act. And like I say, don't get me wrong, he resolves the character dynamics pretty easily, but what else would you want? I mean, the problems were so surface level in a way. Like, you can understand each issue, like Rocky and Adonis is falling out because he wants him to get treatment, he don't want to get treatment. You understand that. However, it resolves very easily. They both just take time away, come back and calm and talk, and that's how it should be. If you did any more than that, it's melodramatic. It ruins the whole film in a way, or it ruins the character relationships. Secondly, his makeup with Bianca is even more simple, yet even more effective in my opinion. He is getting ready for the fight. He's at a hotel with Rocky, I believe, and Bianca comes. Rocky leaves them to it, gives them some space, and he invites her into the hotel or the room, and she goes in and door closes in our face, and that's it. That's all we see. And that's brilliant, because if you go into that scene and you actually think about what would happen on screen, it's very melodramatic. It's not what this film is. The romantic subplot here is to give our character something, a driving force other than boxing, just something real life. and it works because of that, because it is so simple and so effective because it's so simple. And if you go into that scene where they make up, then it's melodramatic. Before they do get into the final fight of the film, and it's all dead intense, we see one of the best scenes in the film, not because of the scene content itself, but because as soon as I saw this happening, I was like, I knew exactly what was going to happen. And it's obvious if you know the character. But basically what happens is there's a press conference. And if anyone knows any kind of boxing level or any kind of intense, emotional sport like this, then you will know that going into a press conference, there's something going to happen. There's an argument, there's something intense that's going to happen. And here it does. And here, again, it's so obvious. Like, everyone knows what is going to happen, but it's effective because it does actually happen. And it's effective because you would expect it to try and subvert things, but it doesn't, because this character has been set up as a brash, as not egocentric, but he has he has a large ego, and a lot of truths come out. Ricky Tomlin, he talks about how, Adonis, he might have grew up poor, but he's actually grew up rich because he lived with a rich woman. He was silver spoon fed and all this and all that. He's only here because of his father's legacy, blah blah blah. Everything that Adonis would know people are going to say to him, but he's not been able to actually prove himself. So he can do nothing, but there is an argument and there is a fight, and it's just what you expect, and everything's kicking off. But it solves nothing. It just shows that, like, Adonis has been angry this whole film, and he's been kicking off and all of this and all of that. But as this scene showcases, nothing's resolved, nothing's solved, anything like that. It's not how you do it in the boxing world. How you do it in the boxing world is you get in the ring. I was making notes as I was watching this, but I was glued. I could not take my eyes away because of the directing, the choreography, the sound design, the cinematography. Everything blends so perfectly well to make you feel like you're getting socked in the jaw just as much as these characters. You don't see that much in film because either the visuals betray the fight or the sound does, and here everything's just top-notch stuff. And it just blows my mind that Ryan Coogler is doing this, and he's like in his late 20s. He's directing this thing, and it's only his second film, man. There is a moment during this fight, very intense, dramatic moment, that as a first-time viewer, it took me away. Adonis is knocked down, and we think it could be over. He's on the canvas. He's done for. He's out of it. Yes, this is where it's his big get up moment. Very, very tensely, he gets up, and it's like, how long? And it's not the point of, oh great, he's been knocked down, now he's got up. He's got knocked down. Can he get up? Oh, he does get up. But how long can he fight for? We have no idea. Yeah, we saw Rocky fight in the first film and lose, and yeah, we probably expect that coming. But we are wondering how long he's gonna be able to do this, especially in this fight where they are like hitting one another, one after the other. They're both going for each other, and it's the most drawest of draws ever that you could ever imagine. But somehow at the end of the fight, Ricky Tomlin's character wins, which I think initially I was very disappointed by that. I was like, okay, yeah, fine, Creed has to lose because Rocky lost in the first one, and you have to do it because it's the same franchise. I thought that's why it all was to it, and I was very disappointed. But then coming to actually think about it and actually understand what went off, I am coming to terms with the fact that it's not about the fight, it's about his self-value. He has finally proven to everyone what he can do on the big stage, and his ego's calmed down now. He knows to value other people and their input. He knows to value himself and accept himself, as in wearing Apollo shorts. He loses the fight because the film isn't interested in winning fights. You see at the start of the film, the character Adonis was a kid and he was fighting all the time. He ended up in prison and stuff like that. It's not anti-fighting, but it's not about fighting. It is about fighting. It's a boxing film, but it's not about winning fights. Not this film. This film is about learning your discipline and the fight itself, the fight to prove yourself, and just the exploration of legacy and what it does to the people left behind because of either bad decision making or an accident. So to wrap up this video, I just want to say that the film surprised me so much because I've not heard any discourse around the film about the actual quality of the writing Coogler and Covington implemented. Their structure and their simple yet effective character moments service the plot so well. it really needs more highlighting of the very good quality of that writing, and it's a shame that Coogler doesn't return for any of the sequels directly. How do you come close to Creed 1 with just the fantastic screenplay alone? But yeah, that is going to be it. Thank you so much for watching the video. You know, I would really appreciate a like and just a comment, just to let me know what you think about my analysis or the film itself, and it'd be good for a discussion. But yeah, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one very soon. Goodbye.
I'll leave you two alone for a while. Good luck.